There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more. Never have our community heroes been more worthy of recognition than today, and Wendy's is here to show thanks for all they do with a free breakfast for a year giveaway. Starting Monday, November 15th through December 9th, we want you to nominate the individuals you feel have gone above and beyond. Just go to yourtotalmedia.com/communityheroes and give us a line or two about why someone you know deserves free Wendy's breakfast for a year as part of Wendy's Thank You Thursdays campaign throughout this holiday season. That's right, our community heroes have the opportunity to win free breakfast for a year from Wendy's, which includes a delicious breakfast combo. We'll select a community hero every week on Thursday, and you'll hear their inspiring stories on the air. You can nominate anyone who's made an impact in our community. Wendy's wants to reward our dedicated and hardworking individuals because these heroes have kept our communities together and running. Make your nomination today at yourtotalmedia.com/communityheroes, and Wendy's will be providing free breakfast for a year to those deserving individuals.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And of course, Jennifer here to start off our morning with our good friend and my good neighbor, Brian Moore. So welcome.
Good morning, Jennifer. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you here. And Brian has one of the prettiest houses in our neighborhood. I'm just going to say it is gorgeous. So I don't know how y'all, there's not a blade of grass out of place.
It takes time.
You work hard at it.
Of course, I love to mow, so this time of the year is not very conducive to my
I know, unless you want to mow leaves, right?
Exactly.
I was driving down Main Street and I saw some guys out mowing leaves. I thought, oh, that just doesn't quite get the same.
With the weather the next couple of days, I'd really like to get out and mow at least one more time. But, you never know.
Listen, I won't judge. Don't you worry about that. But no, welcome, Brian. And first off, I guess tell everyone a little bit about yourself so they get to know you.
Well, I am originally from Oak Hill, still live in the Oak Hill School District out on Standpipe Road. I've been at West Banco I'm a fixture there now. I've been there almost 28 years. So
couple of years.
Started with Oak Hill, now West Banco. I volunteer a lot of time with the Oak Hill Festival of Flags. The Oak Hill Historical Society, Oak Hill Area Chamber of Commerce, anything Oak Hill, I try to get involved since it's my hometown. I still love my hometown. So,
absolutely, and I think that the village of Oak Hill is just one of the coolest communities. It's very tight knit, and everybody down there cares so much about their community. I think that's really, really neat.
They really do. It's we really take care of each other down there, even though I'm not down there. Take the Growing Oaks food program, for instance. We never have to ask for any outside assistance because the folks in Oak Hill, if there's a need, they step up to that need. And that's right. It's not just the food program, but any need that Oak Hill has, the residents really step up down there.
And they do, and they take care of their own.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Yeah, that's for sure. All right. And so you cannot be confused with the Brian Moore that we have here in Jackson, which is on the school board.
I am confused very much so.
I would think so. My husband even said that. He's like, our neighbor's on the, and I was like, no, we live in the Oak Hill School District.
We're
and he was like,
Oak Hill School District on that side of Standpipe, and he's the Jackson City School Board.
I'm like, it's not the same.
And to add even more confusion, we are both in Franklin Township, that Brian and this Brian and me, and he ran for township trustee. So that really added a level of confusion.
That is confusing.
And occasionally I'll get a phone call wanting, tile laid or something like that. So,
well, I wondered, and then you and your lovely bride have posted on Facebook a little bit about, you're fixing up a house. And so everyone's like, oh, he's the contractor guy.
Absolutely. It gets confusing, but we work through it.
Yes. Well, talk to the parents later about naming you something normal. But no, so you are definitely, your heart's in Oak Hill, and you do a lot for the community down there. So thank you for that. Yep. But Christmas in the Village is, this is kind of like the weekend where all of our local areas are kind of doing their own thing with Christmas. So there's a million different things going on this weekend. But the good thing is they're kind of at different times. So you can kind of hit a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
But Christmas in the Village down in Oak Hill, can you tell us a little bit about that and what it benefits? Because it's a good one.
We start out this weekend at 8:30 to 10:30 at the Liberty Theater Community Center with breakfast with the Grinch, and the Grinch will be in attendance.
Will it be the good Grinch or the bad Grinch?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if
Okay.
his heart grows 3 times.
See what mood he's in.
Again, that's the Liberty Theater Community Center. It's all you can eat pancakes, all you can eat sausage, juice, and milk for $7, and that does benefit the Oak Hill Festival flags. Their activities on Memorial Day weekend.
I heard this morning, did you know that there is a maple syrup shortage?
No, I did not know that.
There is. So I hope you've gotten all your syrup. And they've actually, did you know that we have a maple syrup reserve?
I had no idea.
James is laughing over there. It's really a thing.
That is new to me. I had no idea.
It is a thing. And just like the oil reserves, we have a maple syrup reserve. And we've had to tap into it.
Oh, no. That's not good.
I'm just saying. So you better get on it in Oak Hill. Or if you can't find maple syrup anywhere in Oak Hill this weekend, you're going to be good to go.
We will have it.
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda, starting at 3 o'clock, we're having a Jeep Christmas fundraiser. That is to help the 2022 prom after party.
Yay. So the prom kids.
For $20, you can have your decorated Jeep start lining up on the old track at the corner of Western Avenue and Cross Street. And they will participate in the Christmas parade. And the $20 goes toward the 2022 prom after party.
I love that. So you drive your Jeep through the parade all decorated up.
Absolutely. And those Jeeps will stop at the Christmas tree lighting. And then they are going on a ride to the Minford White Gravel Mines to see the Christmas Cave, which is only about 15, 20 minutes from Oak Hill.
That is cool. Have you ever been down there?
I have. And it's absolutely amazing down there at the White Gravel Mines.
So yesterday I told on myself about 2 different things. So I've never been down there when it was the Christmas Cave. I have been there when I wasn't supposed to be there.
Well, we all have.
Years ago. Okay. And the creepiest thing about that, and this would not happen today, but we were walking back through there and all I saw were eyes looking at me. That was it. Just eyes.
Those folks do a phenomenal.
And I was out.
They do a phenomenal job down there.
It actually is owned now. Yes. And like fixed up, and you're not, cutting through bars to get in there. And
absolutely.
Stuff like that.
They do a phenomenal job. It
free. Is so cool.
It's free, and I think they ask maybe for $1 or $2 donation at the end of it. Yes. Is all. So now, do you actually drive through that, or is it do you walk into it? It's a walkthrough.
Okay, but you'll drive your Jeep to that, and then there's parking.
Yes.
Okay, and then do that, and then they ask for that donation at the end, and then you'll drive back to Oak Hill?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very cool. And, if you just want to do the parade thing for the $20 or whatever, that's fine, too.
Absolutely. The next thing on the agenda is the Oak Hill Christmas Parade. The lineup is between 4:15 and 4:30 on West Main Street at the old lower lot at the high school.
Okay.
Whoever wants to participate, churches, organizations, walking contingents, floats, queens, bands, whomever wants to participate, just show up. It's free. We'll get you lined up, and we'll wind the parade through town at about 4:45.
So you don't have to sign up ahead of time?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, how fun. What are some of the fun entries that you've had in the past?
We've had a lot of golf carts the very first year that we did it, all lit up, decorated. We've had bands. We've had queens. We've had churches. We've had businesses with floats, walking contingents, the scouts, the police, the sheriff, fire trucks, and of course, jolly old St. Nick will be in the parade.
Santa will be there?
Absolutely.
Oh, all right. I don't know how he's everywhere all at the same time.
He is everywhere, and we've got a lot of things going on. The next thing on the agenda is the John Hensler and Lindsay Hensler Family Christmas Open House.
Okay.
They live at 220 East Main Street, and it is the old historic Dee Dee Davis house. And it sat empty after Vesta Wilson also lived there years ago, and it sat empty after her passing, and was in a state of disrepair, which was awful because it's one of the best houses in Oak Hill.
Sure.
John and Lindsay took on a massive project, and if you haven't seen pictures of the inside of this house, it is absolutely incredible.
It's gorgeous, and she has it all decorated.
She does for Christmas, and the only thing they're asking is to bring a new toy, and they will donate those to needy Jackson County families. So that's between 5 and 9. So I highly encourage everyone that can to get down there and see that house, because
just stop in and say hey.
Just stop in and say hey. It's been a labor of love to save one of the best known houses in Oak Hill. It's the first house in Oak Hill that had electricity. So
no way.
Absolutely. There was a brickyard down over the hill from the Dee Dee Davis house, and he liked it so well that he put the electricity in his house.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's absolutely stunning what they've done to the house. I encourage everyone to stop down and see that between 5 and 9.
Good. And this is on Saturday.
Then our tree lighting.
Yes.
After the parade at 5:30, we'll stop at Central Park, the parade will, where we've got about 45 or 46 decorated trees, or in process of being decorated. And we will do a short ceremony. The band will be there to do some Christmas selections, and we'll do a short ceremony and do the lights probably about 5:45 is when the lights will come on.
That's so good.
Also, Jolly Old St. Nick will be there. He will be treating and meeting all the kids. The treats are provided by the Oak Hill Area Chamber of Commerce and the Oak Hill Festival of Flags. Santa's being provided by the Oak Hill Historical Society. Besides Santa, Buddy Elf, I hear, may make an appearance.
What?
Depending on how Buddy Elf feels on Saturday.
Correct.
If he has his syrup and spaghetti and all that stuff.
If he finds his maple syrup.
Absolutely.
The food groups.
Buddy, Santa, and Tony and Kate Barker from the Barker Farm in Pedro, Ohio,
yes,
were providing Comet and Cupid live reindeer that night between 5:30 and 6:30.
Well, somebody had to bring Santa, so
that is being sponsored by the Oak Hill Historical Society.
That is cool. So you can see Santa's actual reindeer.
2 of them, Comet and Cupid, will be there. They were there last year with us, and so they will be there again with us this year, and we're excited to have Tony and Kate back. And if their snow machine works, it will snow in Oak Hill on Friday night, or on Saturday night, sir.
What?
It snowed a little bit last night.
Yeah. So we're hoping the snow machine, fingers crossed that the snow machine works, and we'll have a little snow flurry at the park too.
That's pretty cool.
One last thing. The Madison-Jefferson Fire Department Christmas auction is at 6 o'clock at the Bingo Hall on Main Street. It took a little hiatus last year because of COVID, but it is back.
Yes.
They raised a ton of money there to help needy families in the Jackson County area, food baskets, and it's always a good time. Even if you don't buy anything, it's always an entertaining time. So I encourage everyone that can to stop down and see the auction.
Yeah, and that will be after the tree lighting and
After
all
the
of that.
tree lighting,
And then the Madison-Jefferson Fire Department, it's where exactly is that?
It's right beside the Liberty Theater Community Center. If you go to the second red light
it's
in
all
Oak
kind
Hill,
of in the same.
if you go to the second red light in Oak Hill, make a left.
The second red light.
If you go past the second red light, you've went too far.
You've gotten to Ironton.
Exactly. It's the old Jones Morgan Hardware right beside the Liberty Theater. So.
Okay.
There's 4 buildings on Main Street anymore. So, but I am old enough to remember when Main Street was full. So
Okay. Well, there you go. That was a couple years ago.
Well, a few years ago.
Yeah.
I do have 2 other things that I want to plug real quick.
Oh, the chair is yours.
Also, Christmas events, Friday, December the 10th, which is not this Friday, but the following Friday.
Yes.
At 7:30 at the Oak Hill High School Cafetorium, the band Christmas concert. And it is free and open to the public. We've got one of the best bands in the area. And
I would agree with that.
They're going to showcase their talents with a Christmas concert on Friday, December the 10th at 7:30 at the high school.
Okay.
Free and open to the public.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, December the 12th, the choir Christmas concert. Those kids do a tremendous job. It's at 3 o'clock at the Oak Hill High School Gymnasium, and it is also free and open to the public. So for the next 2 weekends in Oak Hill, you can get in the Christmas spirit.
Oh, man.
And just have a great time. And you
Love
know,
that.
you had mentioned, ours is a little earlier on this weekend. Then after you do ours, just come on up to Jackson because I think theirs starts at like 6:45 or 7
Yeah,
o'clock.
and then we're doing the fireworks and stuff. So you can go to one, you can go to the next.
So
You're good to go.
You can just be full of Christmas cheer this weekend in Jackson County.
That's exactly right. And I am going to give a plug for the kids down in Oak Hill. And this is not to knock any of the other programs because I'm not doing that. But I can tell you that the band concert and the choir concert in Oak Hill are always amazing. I mean, because not only do they sing or play, but they perform.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a lot of times they're dancing and there's like props and they just do so much fun stuff down there. And it's always one of my favorite to see.
Bryce Warrants with the band and Brittany Ruth with the choir. They do an amazing job with the kids down there.
They
and,
do.
We're lucky to have them down there.
Absolutely. And it's just always so much fun. And I don't know, it would be good to get down there. It's free and just support the kids and get in the Christmas spirit.
If you want to get in the Christmas spirit, we did a project about 4 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Tim McCoy, the late Tim McCoy, called me up and said, "You think we can replace the pole decorations in town?" We had 40 decorations at the time. And I'm like, we can probably replace 10 at a time, 4-year project.
Sure.
Well, guess what? That 4-year project turned into a 1-year project. We replaced all 40 in 1 year.
What?
2 years later, we did another 16. And last year, we did the old bells, the skylines across the street there on East Main Street, over by the D.D. Davis house where John and Lindsay live now. We raised over $100,000 locally, and I will put our decorations up against any decorations in Southern Ohio. So
there you go.
Come on down, grab a Callie's Pizza, Giovanni's, KFC, McDonald's, run to the deli at Piggly Wiggly or Main Express.
Right, Main Express, yep.
Just put on some Christmas music in the car and take a ride around town and just take a look at the decorations because we have several houses in town that decorate. But the pole decorations are special to us. And the bell skylines, and just you can be filled with the Christmas spirit all season long down in Oak Hill. So
love that, and get your little travel mug with your hot chocolate,
absolutely,
or whatever in it, and go.
Absolutely,
it's fun.
Absolutely,
it's my word. Don't we all just want to have some fun?
Absolutely,
especially after the past couple of years.
What's life without fun?
Right. And the weather's going to be nice the next couple of days. He might have some fun and mow his grass.
That's absolutely true.
And it will be perfect.
And the weather this weekend for, Jackson and Oak Hill, you can ask for better weather on the first weekend of December.
You're right. You don't want it to be like, hot. You want it to be but you want it to be, still cool, but like still to where you're not miserable out there too.
Absolutely.
There's not like ice falling on your head or something. So yeah, it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, I'd say it's 50 during the day. And, if we get to 40, 45 at night, it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous evening for Oak Hill and Jackson this weekend.
Absolutely. All right. Well, while you're here, and we'll recap here in just a second, but while you're here, is there anything else going on in Oak Hill that you'd like to tell our viewers about, or anything you all have planned that's coming up?
The only thing I can think of course, the Festival of Flags has been meeting, working diligently toward the 2022 Festival of Flags, which will be the 29th.
And it will be on, we think.
Yeah, as far as we know.
As far as we know.
That's Memorial Day weekend. And then in 2023 will be Oak Hill's 150th anniversary as a town.
Whoa.
Since 1873. So we will have some announcements later on about happenings in the village.
Now, I'll bet you all have some fun stuff planned for that.
They had a big shindig back in 1973. I don't remember it because I was only one, but I will be 51 by the time.
That was a few years ago.
But I will be 51 by the time the 150th rolls around. So, but we'll have some activities planned. So that's about a year and a half off. But
that is so cool. And, it may sound crazy, but it takes that long to plan something like that.
It really does. So.
Yeah.
This summer, make sure you visit the Margaret Ann Pool and Park. We had a great year this year. I could tell you so many things about Oak Hill. I could probably sit here and talk all morning, but you don't want me to do that. So.
Well, that's all right. No, we love it. And We have 40 minutes. You're good.
We just got a neighborhood revitalization grant to
Yes.
do some things that you won't see, like water lines and things of that nature. But we'll also be refurbishing the basketball courts at the pool and putting in a
Huge.
couple pickleball courts. That's basically tennis for old folks. So tennis for folks like me that don't want to run as far.
So I think I'd never seen it. I'd heard about it, and I saw it on TV the other day. I'm like, yep, that's my speed. You're basically playing like tennis with a wiffle ball.
Yeah, basically.
I'm like, I could do this.
And then we'll be doing new playground equipment with that grant at the Adna Park right there in the middle where the Festival of Flags takes place. Working on some other things to try to get grants for a splash pad at the pool. So keep your fingers crossed for that. We've got a kiddie pool.
Love splash pads.
We've got a kiddie pool that's been closed for several years. And instead of putting the kiddie pool back in, we thought a splash pad would be an ideal thing to do. So we're working for grants for that. So
love that.
A lot of good things happening in Oak Hill.
Very good. And I was a couple places in Columbus over the summer and just sitting outside on a patio and seeing kids play in a splash pad is one of the, I don't know, it's just so fun. They just have so much fun.
Well, it's just like whenever we were kids, we'd go to the pool occasionally, but we had the water hose.
You had the sprinkler,
the sprinkler and the water hose out in the yard.
Yes.
So it's kind of along
it's
those concepts.
the same thing, and I don't know why that's so fun or funny, but it is. Do you remember the old Wet Willy thing?
Yes.
Do you do?
I do.
James, do you know what that is? I'll bet he doesn't.
Well, the only Wet Willy I know is when you lick your finger and stick it in someone's nose.
Well, that is
one.
true. And then there's the old swirly too, but which we won't talk about or give kids any ideas about. But no, the Wet Willy was this. It was like a plastic thing, and then it had like these crazy little red hairs, but they were hoses. And when you turned it on, the hairs just went everywhere, and it was like a giant weird sprinkler that you could play in.
Yeah. If we didn't have that, we had my grandma would put us in a wash tub, fill it full of water, and say, play until all the water's gone.
Until all the water's gone.
And if we played with the water hose, Mom and Dad were always like, you can't let it run too long because the water bill will run up. So. But it was good times. I mean, it was a simpler time, but it was a good time. So.
It was. And listen, everybody didn't have a pool in their backyard like they do now. And we just had to get creative.
That's exactly right.
Oh, that's so fun. All right. Well, let's recap Christmas in the Village while you're here, because this is a lot of fun.
Before we recap.
Yeah.
Is this what you guys are talking about?
Yes. That's exactly what Wet Willy. And those they would go flying, wouldn't they? Like they were crazy.
Good memories.
Yeah, you just didn't want to get whacked in the head with it or like stick that thing in your eye, like run into your eyeball with it, because it was a little. They probably don't do those anymore because they're probably dangerous. But anyway, we all survived. Yeah. I mean, we survived jarts.
Yeah, lawn darts.
Yeah,
we got some the other day, and they're just like weighted.
You're like, no.
Nah.
If there's not a spike on it, it's not the same.
If you haven't been stuck with one of those, then you're not living. So.
If that thing hasn't gone through your shoe, you have not lived.
No, absolutely.
Well, we could talk about that forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
To recap, breakfast with the Grinch, 8:30 to 10:30. Liberty Theater Community Center, $7. All you can eat: pancakes, sausage, juice, and milk, benefiting the Oak Hill Festival of Flags. Jeep Christmas Fundraiser, start lining up on the old track at 3 o'clock on the corner of Western and Cross Streets for $20. It will benefit the 2022 prom after party. The Oak Hill Christmas Parade lines up between 4:15 and 4:30 at the lower lot of the old high school on West Main Street. Christmas Parade kicks off at 4:30. The Christmas tree lighting will be at 5:30 at Central Park with Santa Claus, possibly Buddy Elf, and Comet and Cupid from the Barker Farm live reindeer.
Yep.
The John and Lindsay Hensler Family Christmas Open House is from 5 to 9 at 220 East Main Street at the old DDA's historic house. Santa will meet and treat all kids at the park, usually between 5:30 and 6:30. And then the Madison-Jefferson Fire Department Christmas auction at 6 o'clock at the Bingo Hall on Main Street. A couple band concerts the next weekend on Friday, December the 10th at 7:30 at the high school. is the band concert, and Sunday, December the 12th at 3 o'clock is the choir Christmas concert at the Oak Hill High School. Those are both free and open to the public. So a lot of Christmas cheer the next 2 weekends in Oak Hill.
So much. And, our little communities do so much for Christmas, and it's so fun. And, the great thing about it is you can enjoy yourself, but most of this stuff goes to a good cause as well. The money earned goes somewhere to help somebody.
And I want to give a plug out to Jackson. Like I said, theirs is a little bit later on the 4th, so
Yes.
you can do Oak Hill and Jackson both. Head on up to Wellston. I think they lit their trees this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Galplis did the Wednesday before
Correct.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think Vinton County is possibly this weekend as well. So, within a couple county area, you can really have a lot of Christmas cheer. And the Christmas Cave down in Scioto County.
That's
in Medford.
right.
So there's a ton of things to do right here in Southern Ohio. Get out and enjoy the Christmas season here in Southern Ohio.
That's exactly right. And enjoy, the beauty that, as we've said numerous times, people come from all over the world to come to our area to see what we live in every day and probably don't appreciate.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And, the leaves have fallen off the trees, but there sure are still a lot of pines and lots of beauty here in our area.
As my grandson calls it, the pine cone trees.
The pine cone trees. I like it. Well, very good. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Brian. And I will expect your lawn to look perfectly manicured tomorrow as I drive home.
Hopefully in the next day or two.
I have no doubt in my mind that it will because it is always pristine. So thank you for that, too.
I appreciate that. We'll get the Christmas sleigh out and put up some spotlights on the house and the wreaths and.
They everything about their house is always perfect. It's so pretty.
You just need to decorate your house, but unfortunately, no one can see your
That's
house.
the
It's
thing.
kind of back in the woods.
So we built our house in the first year, and Jamie and I spent all this time decorating it. And we got in our car and we drove down to the highway, and we thought, okay, and you couldn't see any of it. And I was like, well, that's the end of that.
You should get a sleigh and do horse-drawn carriage rides up and down the road.
I could.
That would be perfect.
I think that's a fantastic idea. If we ever had any snow.
Yeah. Either that or we could take my sleigh and put it on wheels, hook up the horses.
There you go.
Up and down Standpipe.
Totally doable.
As long as we could keep the cars on the right side of the road and
Correct.
keep them from hitting us.
We probably, yes. Although people run up and down Standpipe. I'm like, what is it? Y'all are taking your life in your own hands, man.
Exactly.
Whoo-wee. But yeah, we'll work something out. How's that?
There we go.
Okay. Yep. Bring out the old donkey with a bow on his rear end. That's what I said the other day. So, all right. Well, cool. Brian, thank you so much for coming in and talking with us. We greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate being here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and best of luck this weekend because there's a lot going on, and please get down and participate.
Absolutely. We invite everyone down.
That's right. Oak Hill, it's beautiful. It's fun. Everyone's so friendly. There's plenty of places to grab a bite to eat if you want to, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
Yep. All righty. Well, let's head on over to our weather forecast while James has that up, and we will go to, let's see, today is Tuesday. That's right. And it is looking lovely for the day. Partly cloudy skies, highs of 52 degrees today, lows of 29. For tomorrow on Wednesday, look at that. It's a high around 50, but lows only really around 42. So thank you, Brian. And then Thursday, look at the highs on Thursday. Partly sunny skies, highs of 60 degrees, lows around 39. And, the weekend for all of these festivities looking absolutely phenomenal as well. Highs close to 50 and lows around 30. So you just can't go wrong with that. It is really shaping up to be a perfectly beautiful holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Love that.
Perfectly beautiful holiday weekend.
Yeah. So, you look all Christmassy today.
That's what Courtney told me.
Yeah. Got your plaid shirt on. And so you live down in Oak Hill.
I do. I live out by the lake on 279.
You do. And I'm sure the lake has to be.
Our house is also not visible from the highway. So
there's no decorations there.
Well, there's decorations, but,
Not like.
Yeah, if you're not coming up the driveway, you're not really seeing them too clearly.
Well, and that's like, Brian's house is just the way it sits on standpipe and just the way they decorate. It is just like it represents everything that Christmas should be. And like none of the rest of us need to do anything because it's a log home.
Uh-huh.
So it's just straight up Christmassy and just gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, we've got an Oak Hill. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but Clark Griswold lives in Oak Hill. He lived back behind the...
Like really a Clark Griswold?
No.
Oh,
no,
gotcha.
But it is a Christmas vacation level amount of Christmas decorations. It's right back there behind it's the bank. I can't think what it's called now. It was Oak Hill Bank, right?
West Banco.
Is it West Banco
Yes.
now? Yeah, it's West Banco. So right there behind the West Banco is drive out there some evening. It is.
Is it ready to go? Is it decorated?
Oh yeah. It's Griswold level Christmas decorations. It's got
all right, that's
every
it. I'm
inflatable that they had at Menards.
I love that.
I'll take them all.
I love that. So, do they have all the decorations up in Oak Hill that Brian was talking about?
Oh yeah,
everything's ready to go.
the street lamps. Yeah, that's all up.
Cool.
I don't know, probably a week before Thanksgiving they started putting them up.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he mentioned the John Hensler remodeling, like the old Davis home. I've not been in it. I've not seen photos of it, but I drove by it at night, and it doesn't look like a house. It looks like an department store or something like that. Like it's so fancy. Like when we went by, I was like, I almost feel like we should just stop and like knock on the door.
Well, you have your opportunity.
Yeah, because it's like so like open and inviting looking. Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty spectacular.
That's so good when people take something and restore it back to its former days or glory and just don't throw it away,
Yeah. Well, those old buildings, it's such a shame to see them decay, and sometimes there's nothing that you can do about it. But
sometimes they're too far gone.
Yeah, but sometimes you can save them.
Well, and I tell a story about Archinetti's, which we basically, when we decided we wanted to open something here, we had the opportunity of that building or a brand new building.
Right.
And Jamie and I talked for, I think it was about 7 minutes that we decided that building needs to stay alive. And it had been closed. And there was just, it was a no-brainer for me. Like, I wanted to keep that.
Yeah.
And, it's fun because you have all these people come in, and I'm sure the Henslers, I'm sure they hear stories like that too, but, we had our wedding reception here. We had, this event happen. I came there for my prom or, whatever. And I'm sure that they hear all kind of fun stuff about that too. And that's so rewarding.
So I showed you that video from the Colonial of my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary when Wendell, that's not his name, sorry.
Wilbur McCormick.
His barbershop quartet was performing. And you said, well, this was when your mother owned it. And I was telling my mom about that like later in the evening. She's like, oh yeah, I remember your mom offered them free dinner if they would hang out and like sing like to the other parts of the restaurant.
Oh, the barbershop quartet. Yeah.
Well, I thought that was funny.
That's really cute. And, it's funny how different it looks. But still equally as cool, like it's like.
It was like a lot of white painted brick walls. And I said it, and then that big glass window, and I said it reminded me of Tavern on the Green, which is the fancy restaurant that used to be in Central Park. Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool.
It's fun, and so you get to see all that neat stuff. And then there was little James in the video too.
Yep. Speaking of historic buildings that were in, near total disrepair that have been brought back to life.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the Marquee.
Absolutely.
So Jules was in here yesterday, and she went over all this, but I want to, remind everybody about this. Tonight is the Marquee's Giving Tuesday event, which is, this Black Friday, this
Cyber Monday,
this Small Business Saturday, Cyber, all this stuff. So today is Giving Tuesday, and it is, the charitable version of that, period of shopping time, right?
Correct.
And so tonight, the Southern Hills Arts Council and the Marquee are going to be putting on a telethon. It will be on the Marquee's Facebook page, live on Facebook like we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to feature performances from some of the people that performed at the Marquee last year, and a lot of the people that are going to perform at the Marquee this coming year.
That is awesome.
And they're going to talk about all the events that are coming up in the next year,
which will be so fun, and talk about the history of the building.
Right.
Some really neat stuff.
Right. And and we are going to talk about the history of the building a little bit because, like we said, it was, like days away from maybe becoming a parking lot.
Yeah.
And the city of Jackson and the Southern Hills Arts Council came up with this agreement basically to lease. The city owns the property and they lease it to the Southern Hills Arts Council for $1 a year or something like that. And the Southern Arts Council did that whole huge renovation that took a decade.
Oh, forever! But they also paid for everything.
Yeah,
like they're not in debt,
right?
Which is fantastic.
And it was all through grassroots fundraising. I mean, I'm sure there are some bigger donations, but it was a lot of spaghetti dinners and things like that.
Supported that.
Yeah, and there are all these plaques there of all the people that made, pretty much any donation from like a small amount, like the big donations. And one of them was the chairs. So individuals purchased the chairs.
Correct.
So that was like, $150 or $200 or whatever. And you bought a chair. So every one of those 246 seats or however many are in there, like somebody, a regular person.
Yeah. Like there's a name on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And every one of them is like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And, you're going to get to see tonight the Marquee. And as James said, many of the performances that have happened over the past year or two and some of the upcoming stuff. Like I was really intrigued by what Jules was talking about yesterday, the Japanese, like the drums and the dancing.
Right. So we have a performance from them.
Out of New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're coming to the Marquee this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, let's just be honest. Where in this area do you see something that cool?
I don't know. If you give me just a second, I'll bring up the calendar and I'll tell you when that show is going to be.
It's going to be so fun. So tonight you just have to go to the Marquee Jackson Facebook page.
Right.
And you can tune into the telethon. And they will have, just like people manning the phones, you can call in, you can donate, you can become a member of the Arts Council. There's so many things going on, and they just want you to, let's see, the phone number is 740-577-3841. So write that down, 577-3841 or 286-6355. So you have two numbers to call if one's busy. And that will be tonight, 6 to 8 p.m.
Yeah. And
give or take.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's not going to be over at 8.
I don't think so. That's why I said give or take.
Long. Yeah, it's going to run long.
Yeah.
But, it speaks because we have so much awesome stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like because
we have so
you have
much cool stuff to plan.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yep. So I couldn't log into my Google thing, so I can't bring up the posters. I apologize. I'm having a fight with Google right now.
The technical guy is having trouble with.
Every time I try to log into a Google account, it makes me change my password. It's driving me crazy.
The funny part about James is, and as mellow as he is here, that's James in real life. And James is always like our even-keeled person that keeps us all in check when we're losing our minds or something. And the other day, it was so funny because he just takes off on this tirade. I'm like, are you all right? He's like, I don't even want to tell you what he said, but Google and some other words came out, and Google and some other words came out, and he's like,
it just won't let me do it.
It's making me crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. It's the security thing, but it's like,
but it shouldn't have to do it every time.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it just doesn't like that you have multiple devices.
Yeah.
But it is coming up in 2022 at the Marquee, so it's exciting.
Yeah,
but
and that's
going to be, Open Rail. Jules mentioned them. They're like
Yep.
a bluegrass band.
Yep.
There's a Eagles Journey. Is it
Journey tribute band?
A Journey tribute band called.
Is that New Frontiers?
New Frontiers. I
Yes.
had it in my head just a second ago, and then I couldn't remember if it was Journey or the Eagles. It's Journey. They're awesome.
Dwight Eisenhower,
of course, super
who
cool.
is
We're gonna play a
area favorite.
Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of your interview that you did with Dwight.
Oh yeah,
Earlier in this year. It was really good.
he was great.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
He got up at 6:00 in the morning to.
I know.
In.
You think about these people that you get in for interviews and they're Skyping in or whatever,
Yeah.
and like about halfway through, I think we both realized we were like,
Yeah.
"Oops."
Well, we thought he lived in Florida, and he
We're
said
sorry.
that he moved to Orlando, and that's where we thought he was, but he's in California. And we're like,
Whoopsie.
oh,
We're sorry you had to get up
Yeah.
so early.
I mean, his hair looked perfect for it
He
being
did, of
6:00 in the
course.
morning.
And
How
he
is
was
that?
on.
How is that? I don't know. He went to high school with Stacy, who's our zip printing manager. Did you know that?
Didn't know. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah, I don't think they were in the same class, but they were within
That's
4 years of
so
each other.
fun.
Yeah.
Have to
Small
ask her about
world,
that
isn't it?
sometime. It is
Yeah.
a small world.
I wonder if she was at the talent show where he did Elvis for the first time.
I don't know, because he talked about
Yeah.
that, how he didn't even know that he really had.
Right. Well, that
The
is
talent.
how Woody Harrelson got started acting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was he was on the football team or whatever, and he did a Elvis impression to make the football team laugh in the locker room or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got him to do it for the school talent show or whatever. And he quit sports and decided he wanted to be an
I'm
actor.
going to be an actor. Well, it worked out.
Right.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that story. So good.
But yeah, Marquet Giving Tuesday tonight,
Yes.
6:00 on the Marquet Cultural Arts Center Facebook page. So tune in, check it out, give us a call. If you're not a member, become a member.
That's right.
If you're a lapsed member, renew your membership.
Listen, if you can just call in and donate $5, do that too. If you can.
Yep.
Just any little bit helps. And, the Marquet, places like the Marquet got absolutely destroyed by this pandemic because they were not, by their very nature, they're social places and they weren't allowed to have events and they
Right.
couldn't have even anything in the gallery.
They basically had to cancel everything in 2020.
Correct.
And then in 2021, most of the year, people didn't want to go anywhere because they were
Correct.
still, just hesitant about being out and stuff like that. And there was, restrictions for most of the year anyway.
Yep.
So this year wasn't much
better
than last year.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they've been able to have some things. They had Dwight's show, which was a big success. And of course, they had John's Remembering the 60s show recently. And that was a big success. Bob Eisnagel had his gallery show and had a wonderful opening, a big success. Matthew Wilson is getting ready to have his opening. It's either this week or next week. I think maybe I can check that real quick. But
Can you?
yeah, well, that one's on Facebook, so it doesn't have to deal with Google. But yeah, so that's coming up really soon. It's this Thursday at 7.
Okay.
And that's the opening ceremony for Matt's show at
That's
the Marquet
awesome.
Gallery.
So very cool.
Yeah, so there are a lot of exciting things happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's coming back, whether it be slowly but surely, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
So please donate or at least participate in the telethon tonight. Again, those numbers 577-3841 or 286-6355 for more information.
Yep.
Yeah. So very, very cool stuff. All right. And then do you want to talk about the Wendy's thing for a minute?
Sure.
That's still going on. Wendy's Thank You Community Heroes Breakfast giveaway is still going on. And if you know somebody within the community here locally that you're watching here that you believe is a community leader or does good for the community, we ask that you call in because don't call in.
Yeah.
You
Visit our
email
website.
and visit the website at yourtotalmedia.com/community heroes and nominate this person, and they can win free breakfast for a year from Wendy's.
Yep.
It's as simple
just
as
a couple.
that.
Just give us a couple sentences about somebody you know that you think has done something great for your community, like maybe organizing a day full of Christmas festivities.
Correct.
Right. Or remodeling a historic house.
Correct.
Things like that.
The
things that are making your community a better place.
Yeah.
I do have to tell on Wendy's though. I had lunch at Wendy's yesterday. Out of hamburgers.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
I'll bet they didn't I bet their truck didn't come in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which, trust me when I tell you, in the restaurant business right now is a thing.
Oh, I believe it. But it was just funny. You just hear people online like, never heard of a hamburger joint being out of hamburgers before.
Chicken it is.
Yep. They had the little ones, but they didn't have the big ones. I thought that was really funny.
Chicken for everyone.
Yeah. That happened when they opened the new athletic facility in Oak Hill, the new football field, and especially the track. That happened a lot because they'd have these regional track meets with like 20 schools, and nobody would tell the restaurants that it was happening. Yeah. And then 20 school buses would show up at McDonald's and KFC and the few restaurants that we have in Oak Hill, and they just sell out of everything, and then people would be angry that there was no chicken left or no hamburgers left.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, by the way, speaking of, Christmas and pretty, Jamie and I headed down to, hadn't been down to Huntington in forever, and ended up in downtown Huntington to visit a couple of places and talk to a couple of people on Sunday. And they're around Pullman Square. They've really added to that downtown area there.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Lots of businesses have gravitated that way. So much stuff where it used to be kind of spread out in Huntington. So much stuff where you can just park in the parking garage. Restaurants and bars and movie theater,
stores,
shopping, all kind of fun shops
the
up and down
right
the
there
street.
too.
The Big Sandy Arena is right there,
which isn't Big Sandy anymore.
Oh yeah, it's whatever it is now. But it's all, instead of it being like spread out, it's within walking distance.
It's a really nice area to walk around.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of parking too.
There's plenty of parking, and
that is not that far from Marshall's, like the football field and stuff like that too.
You're pretty close.
So if you're there for something like that,
that's right.
Yeah, it's
a couple
all really
hotels
close.
Right there. Like both of them have been completely refurbished. The one beside the arena, and then also the other one, the Pullman Hotel, is now a DoubleTree or something like that, but completely remodeled. So yeah, I mean, it just hadn't been down there in a long time, and we had a reason to go down there, and I was very pleasantly
surprised.
Really
nice. Yeah, and, it's really nice.
It's like big city, it's the same as, you can go to Columbus or you can go to wherever, but it's closer.
Yeah.
And they have the mall too,
right?
But not within walking distance.
Right. I mean, that's a different part of the city, but yeah, it's
But that downtown
really
area
nice.
is really neat.
It really is.
Yeah. So
I haven't been to the Huntington Mall probably since last Christmas, but it's really nice too.
Yeah.
And it is, in the world of online shopping, it is really nice to go see the malls like alive again.
Don't you just want to just go and walk around and see people, and there is nothing better than the energy at especially at Christmas time.
Yeah, I mean, as long as people aren't fighting over Cabbage Patch dolls or whatever, which I feel like is not as much of a thing anymore. I mean, we were talking a little bit yesterday about people going nuts, but for the most part, people are pretty chill.
Yeah,
we went Black Friday shopping in Ashland, and I went into Dick's Sporting Goods, and they weren't really busy, and I was kind of chatting with the guy at the register, and he's like, yeah, people have mostly been pretty good spirits today.
Thank goodness.
I was like, that's good. Lucky for him, he didn't work at Kohl's, which was a bit more of a madhouse.
Good grief. God help us all.
Yeah, those poor people.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of shopping, again, on this coming Saturday.
Everything's happening on Saturday.
It is, but you can, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so you have plenty of time to make this happen. The Parks Edge Event Center Holiday Market will be going on. It's free admission.
Right.
And there's tons and tons of participating vendors.
Over 30 vendors.
Yeah. So you can get anything from candles to crafts to clothes to, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wreaths, like decor. Any of that stuff. So you can check it out. Again, and you can go to enjoyparksedge.com/holiday market for more information. But again, this coming Saturday, December 4th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., free admission. You can shop local, support our local artists and vendors. And if you haven't seen Parks Edge, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you can just check it out as well.
And speaking of Parks Edge, just to shout out a few more weeks into the future, they're going to be announcing their New Year's Eve party really soon.
Okay.
So Parks Edge is going to have a fancy New Year's Eve party with live music and food and drinks and the whole 9 yards. And so that's going to be announced really soon too.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So you'll have that to look forward to. I apologize for our lack of Christmas decorations. I had got them all out last night and I was so excited. And I plugged everything in and not one light on anything worked. So, being my father's daughter and harnessing the inner Lou, I take cut
all the wires and started splicing stuff together.
I didn't get out the soldering iron,
okay.
But I did go find my fuses and I took them apart and I put new fuses in all the lights and thought this'll get it.
Nah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I had never had any luck changing the fuses in Christmas lights either. That is if you can keep those little fuses that it comes with for
hold on
4 years
or
whatever. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to find some Christmas decorations. And they're kind of hard to find right now. A lot of people don't have a lot of stuff. Over. Yeah.
Well, we'll come up with something.
So anyway, we'll get in the spirit and we apologize about that.
We'll figure it out with sometime between now and the 26th.
And the 25th.
Yeah, we'll have it all sorted out by the day after Christmas.
Yes, we'll get her. There will be a Christmas light in here before Christmas, I promise.
Yeah, I'll wear one of those Christmas sweaters that has lights on it.
That lights on.
Yeah, don't you have a funny Christmas sweater?
I do. I have one with balls on it.
That's what it was. It's got balls on it. I couldn't remember. I remembered it was funny, but I couldn't remember what it was.
You like my sweater? It's got balls on it.
Yeah, and then you're going like this.
My balls are jingling.
Yep. You and
Pete Wilson. Pete Wilson needs that sweater.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He'll turn red as a Christmas ball.
I was going to say, he would die if we said something to him about that. Anyway, if you weren't watching that show, you'll have no idea where we're going with that. I found an article, and I know you, and you have things like this. That's true,
I do have things.
You have stuff and things. And there are some retro toys that if they are hiding in your attic... Money.
Green?
Yeah. For example, if you have an original Buzz Lightyear action figure, they go for a ton of money.
So I don't have a Buzz Lightyear, but I do. I don't know if this was when the original Toy Story came out or if it was one of the sequels.
This was from 1995, the original Buzz Lightyear.
But so I had a Woody doll, and it was a Burger King thing.
Oh,
because you know how I feel like they don't really do it anymore. But they have Happy Meals and stuff like that. It comes with a toy.
Yeah.
But back when I was a kid, a lot of times they'd also have at the holidays, especially, they have these nicer toys that cost a little bit extra. So you really had to beg mom to get you pay the extra $5 or whatever to get the nicer toy. So we had the Burger King, the nicer Burger King Woody doll.
Oh,
yeah, but I don't think we had a Buzz Lightyear.
Well, if you had an original Buzz Lightyear, they are selling for $150 to $200 for a talking one on eBay. Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
So you probably didn't have a Polly Pocket.
Well, no, because when I was in elementary school, Polly Pocket had a moment. Like it was big
time.
for a minute. I remember in elementary school there was like a Polly Pocket club, and they would get together at recess and play Polly Pocket.
Yeah,
like it really had a moment.
Like these little dolls
when I was in elementary school.
They came out in the 80s, but new entries are still being introduced today. But vintage sets from the 90s can sell for hundreds of dollars if they're unopened. Mm-hmm. This is what we need to do. We need to go around and buy these sets and not open them and just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to do that, the thing to do is to buy the big Lego sets.
Yes. Because, like you said, the Millennium Falcon, stuff like that.
Right. I mean, that crazy big Millennium Falcon, I mean, it was $500 or whatever retail, but it's $1,200 on eBay now.
Correct. They said that if you have big sets, like the big Polly Pocket sets, they can sell for $700 to $900 on eBay if they're unopened. Yeah. G.I. Joe toys can sell. A lot of G.I. Joe action figures can sell for thousands. One collection of vintage recently sold on eBay for $30,000. In 1987, G.I. Joe Defiant Space Shuttle Complex. I don't know what that is. Sold for like $17,000.
Yeah. Well, their G.I. Joe, the I think pretty sure it's G.I. Joe thing that I'm aware of. That's like the crazy collectible thing. Is they made an aircraft carrier.
I wonder if that's what that is. Space Shuttle Complex.
Yeah.
Defiant Space Shuttle Complex.
I don't know. I mean, I always just called it the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier, but it's as big as this table. Like it's big.
Huge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I've ever heard of it being worth $17,000, but it's one of, it's a famous, toy.
We need to just keep these toys. Because as we're sitting here today, 20 years from now, somebody's going to be talking about the very thing that we.
Yeah, but like the same.
And the hatchables still won't hatch.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the reason that things like go up in value like that is because they didn't make a lot of them, and they got played with to death. To death, yes. And nobody thought to save it. And it's the same. And it's the same thing with baseball cards.
Yeah.
Then when baseball cards from pre 1970 or whatever started being worth money, and comic books were the same way.
Yep.
People started saving them, and the companies started printing more of them.
Correct.
And people thought that the stuff from like the 80s and 90s were going to be worth money, and then it wasn't because
the value went.
Right, because they made so many of them.
Yep.
And everybody saved them.
Yeah.
And
so everybody had the same idea.
Right. So, I mean, if you
have one from years and years ago that's cool, it's probably worth something. Lego sets, we just talked about that. They said the Royal Knights Castle from 1995 can sell for up to $3,000 if it's still in the box.
Have you seen the Lego Titanic?
No.
It's a new set. It's almost as long as this table. It is not the most pieces that have ever been in a Lego set, but it is the longest Lego set ever made.
Even imagine what that would be like.
I saw it on display at the Lego store at the Easton Mall a couple weeks ago.
Are they selling it there?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
How much is it?
$500 probably.
A whole lot of a lot. Yeah. Do you know how much money they make on? I mean, they're little plastic pieces.
Yeah.
Ghostbuster toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ghostbuster toys from the original film can go for over $1,000.
Yeah, they've remade a lot of the original figures that were made by Kenner recently, and Star Wars is the same way. But yeah, the Ghostbusters figures, they've remade a lot of those old figures in the last year or so, promoting the new movie. With Star Wars, there's a lot of interesting things about the original Star Wars toys.
Which I had.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, God. Yeah. I had tons of those figurines, but...
So with the Star Wars toys, George Lucas, he had the foresight or whatever to know that Star Wars was going to be like marketable.
Like it is.
Right. Oh. And he basically funded it himself. And the reason he did that is because he wanted to keep all of the merchandising rights for himself. Mm-hmm. And initially he had trouble finding a company to partner with to make these toys.
Okay.
And eventually he did. But by the time he found someone to make the toys, the demand was already insane. So like the movie was already out. It was the biggest thing in the world.
And kids
were demanding the toys for Christmas. They weren't ready yet because like he had just found somebody to make the toys.
Uh-huh.
So they sold, like toy stores sold like little cardboard like coupon things.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That
that
said,
you like bring this back in to exchange
like an IOU.
When the toys are here, bring this back. And like that's what they sold at like Christmas 77 when the first movie came out.
That is nuts.
Yeah. And then beyond that, one of the figures in particular, you remember the Jawas, the little short guys with brown hoods that are in the first movie. So the original figure that they made of that, they made it with a cloth robe.
Yeah.
And then it was too hard to make or too expensive or something like that. So they replaced it with a plastic robe.
Okay.
Well, if you have one of those ones that
With
was
the
cloth, it's worth like $10,000.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, because they just made a few of them, like, in 1977, and not very many people got them, and kids went nuts.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have any of that stuff, you never know.
There is a Netflix like documentary series called The Toys That Made Us.
Yeah.
It is really fun, kind of look back at a lot of these classic toy brands.
I would love to watch that. Is it long?
Well, it's a TV series, so it's like, however many episodes, but the episodes are only like half an hour.
Yeah.
Probably not even that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it as fun as the Tiger King? I have not watched that, by the way.
I mean, it's fun. The editing style is, I think, kind of grades a little bit. Like the more you watch it, like this, because it's like a funny narrator and stuff. And they've done other series that are like edited exactly the same way, talking about other things. But it is really fun. And if old toys like that or something that you think is interesting, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, see what your stuff's worth.
Yeah.
And last but not least, and I thought this was really interesting because it's really bizarre to me. They made Alien toys. So you have like this R-rated terrifying movie, but they made toys about it. The toy was not a huge hit. So if you got the figure from 1979, it sells for over $1,000 if it's still in the box.
Well, I mean, we're kind of running out of time, but like back in the 80s especially, there was this weird trend of like making children's cartoons based on R-rated movies. Like RoboCop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they just did that a lot.
Super weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I like this they always make the comments after the articles, right?
Oh, yeah.
And someone commented, I went to an antique show yesterday. People were bidding on me. I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway. But yeah, so if you have any of those in your attic or find one out and about, might want to hang on to it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Or, sell it while it's hot.
That too.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, thanks to our friend Brian for coming in today.
That was great.
And talking about all the great things going on in Oak Hill. And we'll see. Tomorrow will be, why can't I think?
Tomorrow will be Wednesday.
And who is our guest tomorrow?
It will either be me or Courtney.
Oh, I thought we don't.
Nobody tomorrow.
Oh, I thought we had a guest tomorrow.
We have a guest on Thursday and Friday. Ben Davis Jr. will be here on Thursday.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So we'll just chit chat.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Well, we'll recap all the fun that we have on the Marquee Telethon tonight.
Correct. So again, please make sure that you tune in from 6
o'clock
to 8.
Yeah.
Or a little bit longer, probably, because there's a ton of stuff to show, and they'll be talking about some historical things of the building and the Marquee, and it'll be a lot of fun. And get your little credit card out and give as much as you can, because they really need it, and it's a wonderful place for our area, and we hope that it will be here for many, many years to come. So, all right. Have a great day, everyone. And we'll be right back here tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.